Tourism's big business for this state, and it's big business for all of your communities and all of the people that you represent. 1 out of every 10 people in this state works in the hospitality industry. In 2012, and we're waiting for our 2013 numbers, and I'm hoping they're going to be just as good as these 2012 numbers, we'll see. But in 2012, 26.3 million people visited this state. That's more than any time in our history. Not post-Katrina, not post-Rita, not post-Gustav, not post-oil spill, but any time in Louisiana's history. 26.3 million people coming through this state. They spent, in your communities, $10.7 billion. They left behind, and this is what's important, $665 million, almost $750 million in taxes paid by visitors to this state that you didn't pay, I didn't pay, our constituents didn't pay. That seems to me to be a smart investment for a state when you can generate that kind of income from people who come into Louisiana. And very seldom do people come here and leave and say, I don't want to ever go back there again. It's usually, I can't wait till I can come back to Louisiana, see a different part of Louisiana, perhaps invest in the state, and ultimately retire in the state. And that continuum that I'm talking about is very significant when it gets to retirement. And those of you who represent small communities throughout Louisiana that have a lot of great amenities for hunting and fishing and golf need to think about this, on what you can do to enhance your attractiveness as a retirement destination. This was a shock to me. Spending little or no money as a state when I got into this office, really doing very little, if anything, to promote Louisiana as a retirement destination. Our state, on at least 2 different surveys, has been recognized as one of the top 10 states to retire in America. 6 of our major communities, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Alexandria, Shreveport, and New Orleans, surprisingly to me, recognized in the top 10 on various lists cities to retire in Louisiana. Now, in my view, those places are great, but they're not nearly as attractive as a lot of the smaller communities represented in this room. For people to retire who may want a country lifestyle but a close proximity to activities in the city, all kind of communities around Louisiana have that. And we've begun a marketing campaign called Retire Louisiana Style to try and drive that point home. And we're focusing in this first year on military retirees, people who have served at Barksdale or at Fort Polk or at Belle Chase, or who have come through Louisiana at some point in their life to train, to convince them that, you know, all those things you enjoyed while you were passing through can be enjoyed a lot more if you spend your senior years with us in Louisiana. And the retiree of 2014 is an awful lot different than the retiree of 20 and 30 years ago. The 60, and I can testify to this, the 60-year-old, the 55-year-old, the 65-year-old of today is a lot different than the retiree of a generation ago. They're more active, they want culture, they want activities, they want to do things, they want to have a hospitable environment, they want to have a low tax base. I'm describing Louisiana. We've got the 4th lowest tax base in the country, attractive provisions for retirees as to how their retirements are taxed. We got a lot to offer, and we're going to market it that way, and you need to help us do that as well in your communities, convincing people this is a place that they ought to come when they settle down. This is going to be a fun year for Louisiana. Natchitoches is celebrating its 300th anniversary. It's tricentennial, the oldest city in the Louisiana Purchase, certainly the oldest community in Louisiana. The Battle of New Orleans will be commemorated in January of 2015 with what will be an international celebration. We have been dealing with a lot of the leadership in Great Britain, trying to encourage perhaps the royal family or significant people in Great Britain to be here for the commemoration of the Battle of New Orleans. It was the end of hostilities between the United Kingdom, or Great Britain then, and America. And since then, we're the 2 greatest allies in the free world today, and we're going to commemorate that and celebrate that alliance that was formed after the Americans won, thank goodness, the Battle of New Orleans and prevented the British from regaining a stronghold in North America. Tourism is a major industry for the state, as you know. In 2012, $665 million in tax revenue to Louisiana. We think it'll be even bigger when we get the 2013 numbers.
What's your feeling regarding what needs to be done to expand tourism in Louisiana and be more competitive on a national basis?
Well, we're doing it. The key is to get the money that is dedicated for tourism. Some of it is peeled off in the legislative process, and all I want is what the law says we ought to get, and we're going to be very competitive with Texas and Florida, not just Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas.
The thing about agriculture is getting better every day. I want you to think about that. And where does agriculture begin? It begins at home. It's the largest industry in the state. If you look at what's coming out, the reports from the Port of New Orleans, the Port of South Louisiana, record exports again this year, $69 billion. Oil, gas, and agriculture. Agriculture has grown 27% in the last 2 years. Record prices and values for our commodities. Record investments in agriculture infrastructure. Talking about in the ports, in the rail, by the railroads. Look at all the new grain bins. Look at the trucks. Look at these tractor dealerships. You know, night before last, I went Progressive Tractor, and I asked Eddie, I said, Eddie, he's a good friend of mine, Eddie Villamoret. I said, Eddie, what's your ¡1 problem? He said, I can't get the tractors fast enough. Wow. And these tractors aren't chump change. These things start off at $250,000 and go up. And if you look at what's going on, we have a tremendous, tremendous future. The value of agriculture is going to continue to increase. It's $11.4 billion. That's anywhere from $60 to $300 million in every parish. Timber is our largest industry, $2.2 billion, followed by poultry. It's wonderful chickens, $2 billion. Sugar cane, $1.1 billion. Soybeans, $500 million, 1.1 million acres, and growing. Think about what's going on back home. Any of y'all seen any farms for sale? Have any of y'all priced any land? My friends, that's where the money's at. It's in natural resource-based economies. That's what's developing here. Agriculture, forestry, oil, gas, industry. We just got a farm bill signed, and we've been working on that 2.5 years. A number of those things now are going to have to be fleshed out. There's definitive changes on the way that we do business and the way that we handle such things as crop insurance. But our market access is growing. We have record exports this year, $69 billion of total exports from Louisiana, and which is oil and gas and ag predominate, in those exports. Record exports across the United States. We expect another record year, and we expect strong profits. If you look a few weeks ago, they were talking about the fact that, we would have lower profits than the year before, still over $100 billion, and now corn is moving back up, wheat is moving back up, cotton is moving back up, rice is moving back up, and sugar is moving back up in price in the last 2 weeks. So everything's very positive. But we also have to talk about and, again, address the basic fundamental issues. Agriculture starts locally. And so here we are at the Police Jury Association. And this is the foundation of agriculture, and all the rules, all the regulations, all the interchange of government, that's what makes it work or not work.
Give us an idea on how DEQ works with local government to protect the environment.
They are permitted in some cases for solid waste, landfills, or wastewater facilities, and we want to make sure that they know all the updated regulations because we want them to be in compliance.
The recent issues with the amoeba in the public water systems, first public water systems in the United States with the amoeba in them, certainly that's been a big issue. We have, of course, gone out there, gotten our best expertise, national expertise to come in, help with providing technical assistance to us as well as technical assistance to local authorities. We've changed our standards to up our chlorination standards. We're doing additional monitoring, requiring additional plans from those local authorities, but then again, also providing extra technical assistance to them to help them meet those new standards.
The American Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies did a survey, and in the last 5 years, Louisiana led the continental United States in the percentage increase in sales in hunting and fishing licenses. That's a good thing for Louisiana.
The bulk of the method of determining fire protection capabilities is your local fire department. From the buildings, the location of their fire stations, the number of apparatus that are in these stations, the way these apparatus respond to fire calls, the personnel, the people, both career firefighters and volunteer firefighters, the training that these folks have to have. Those are all things that are looked at. Ancillary to that is the water systems, which in most cases the fire department doesn't specifically control public water. So you'll see in rural areas that fire departments have trucks that tank water, around to put fires out. So specifically, what we talked about is how they can leverage, revenues to maybe invest in certain aspects of fire protection that'll get the best savings for the public.
The message will be on really the changes in the ethics laws, to answer any questions about what the upcoming changes will be this session. Many of them will be in the types of bills that'll be filed with respect to the time of reporting, mostly technical changes, mainly to keep the deliberations confidential. The main one I think people will like is if they're questioned by the Ethics Administration, they can call them and talk to them as opposed to sending a letter. To issue an enforcement action, it's just easier for the staff to get a question answered.
We came to talk to the members of the Police Jury Association about what we're doing at the Public Service Commission that affects each and every one of the members of the community. We're in a position right now to where we've gotten past some critical elements at the Commission last year. We've gotten past all the rate cases. We've gotten past these divestiture issues on the transmission system and protected the community. We're in a market now which should be helping people out. We're facing some of the highest utility bills basically all year, simply because of the amount of consumption people are having, because it's very cold and we're having the coldest winter in a century. But we also spent some time talking about energy efficiency, and we're talking about where we go from here. The Public Service Commission has basically instituted an energy efficiency policy that's based on ratepayers paying for funds to go out to various non-governmental organizations to help them develop programs, but there's no reason that the various public police jury systems can't participate in this as well. I suggested to them that they participated in this, and then we also have developed our basically market-driven energy efficiency program, where we're getting opportunities for companies who have basically better mousetraps on how to save electricity that is not going to be ratepayer funded. And one example of that is a company called Brilliant Efficiencies. And Brilliant Efficiencies is bringing in not traffic lights, but street lamps and exterior lighting for government facilities, which consumes almost 50 to 60% less electricity than it's consumed now and gives better light quality. So what we're hoping is once this is proved out, that these companies will come and visit the various municipalities and parish governments and have an opportunity to do that, because people don't realize, just if you look at exterior lighting, how many lights are outside, and that cost is all borne by the governmental entity, and that if that can save money there, it saves money on the taxpayer's pocket. So I think it's great opportunities ahead, and hopefully the engineers and the industry of the United States and Louisiana can keep moving forward to come up with better ideas for saving electricity.
We can do almost everything and fulfill just about every need that the community might have, from infrastructure, building roads, building sewer systems, building water systems, hospitals, schools, building individual homes, providing police cars, fire trucks, you name it, and we can possibly do it. We can help them with the financial needs that they have. We are mainly a lender, but we can help with grants for those folks who need some assistance in being able to service the debt that they need. So we should be expecting them to come and talk to us and tell us about what it is that they need, and we can see what we can do about satisfying those needs.
With respect to flow control and drainage, we're doing very well. Obviously, it's important to us with all the water we have. The community rating system has over 300 communities, municipalities that are currently participating in that program and receive discounts on their flood insurance premiums.
It is an honor every year to have the ability to swear in the officers and the board members and the region members of this association. I know we visited a little bit about them this morning, but you have a dynamic executive board that has placed this association at the top of the list, not only from a legislative perspective, but also in a member services perspective. They meet only four times a year, but they are in constant contact, not only with their legislative delegation, but also our office, and also with your group health and workers' comp and deferred comp folks. And every single member of this board is active in the National Association of Counties. And every time we meet, their #1 priority is you. So let's give a round of applause to this executive board. Please repeat the oath after me. I state your name. I, do solemnly swear. that I will support the Constitution and bylaws of the Police Jury Association and the Constitution and bylaws of the state of Louisiana, and perform and discharge the duties incumbent upon me as, state your office, please. According to the best of my ability and understanding, so help me God. Congratulations, folks.
It's been a very honor and pleasure for this past year to serve as your president of our Police Jury Association of Louisiana. I can't say enough words that we've traveled all over the state. Me and my wife, we've certainly enjoyed. We've visited with a lot of people that we don't know. I can remember a face pretty good, but I have a hard time with names. But I have met a lot of people this past year. It's just been a great, great time. I can't say enough. It's just been a great appreciation. And my jury and office crew has supported me 100%. I really appreciate them. Police jury staff, all of them has just been great to me. It helped me in every direction. I can't say enough appreciation. And I'll thank all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And normally it's my honor to give the oath of office to your incoming president, but tonight I'm being trumped by not only a past president of the association, the guy that hired me, as well as your Madam President's father. Please welcome your past president and the mayor of St. Martinville, Thomas Nelson.
I, Lisa Nelson, repeat after me.
I, Lisa Nelson,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution and the bylaws of the Police Jury Association and the Constitution and laws of this state,
and
that I will faithfully discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as president, according to the best of my ability and understanding. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to take this time, first of all, to thank my dad for his dedicated service and excellent service in government. This is why I am here. He has encouraged me. Mom, I want to thank you for your support and your dedicated service as secretary for both of us. She may not have been elected, but at times she says that she feels like she is. Mitchell, thank you for your support and encouragement. Secondly, I'd like to thank everyone here, because without you, I would not have the opportunity to serve as your president of the Police Jury Association. I'm greatly honored and will serve you to the best of my ability. The Police Jury Association represents all parishes in Louisiana, and we are here to represent every parish. I'd like to thank Guy Cormier, my parish president, the council, our clerk Lacey, for supporting me. Getting nervous, y'all. And serving with integrity. This is why we have a great parish. Also, I want to thank my parish for stepping up to the plate and hosting the reception prior to the banquet tonight. To the executive board members, I want to thank you for your service. They are dedicated to serving all parishes with whatever matter may come up within a parish, state, or federally. They are here to serve you and myself. Last but not least, Roland Dortes, Director of the Police Jury Association, I want to thank you for all that you do. I don't know how you do it all, but you do a superb job. Ms. Jane and the office personnel, thank you for an excellent job. With that being said, this is why we have an excellent and productive Police Jury Association, because of all the people that takes part in it. I can't leave out MSI. I don't think I see anyone here tonight, and everyone else that assists the Police Jury Association with insurance, audits, etc., whatever it may be. Thank you all for what you do. Last, I'm joyful and proud to serve as your president. So don't hesitate to contact me for any assistance or concerns. Thank you again, and I am serving as your president of the Police Jury Association. I did have a conclusion, but my conclusion is gone, and I'm assuming you all know what it is. I was going to introduce my 3-year-old niece because she would not let me forget that I did not. But thanks again. Call me anytime. Thank you.
It is important to keep in mind your constituents. They always come first. Always monitor. Go back and look and see what's going on within your legislation. It's important that you contact your legislature if there's something that you're against or for, to make sure that things happen within the state.
If people have questions like more information, what should they do?
There's the Police Jury website. Go there and look for your information there, and there's a number that you could always call.